Hello, this is Keith with my YouTube video series, How the Government Should Work. And I'm here with video 7, the legislative process, which essentially means how Congress gets bills passed, how Congress gets laws passed. The issue with the legislative process is pretty demonstrated by what's happening today, right today. The Senate, Congress is trying to pass another coronavirus stimulus bill. They're not getting anything done. And the truth is, out of the 435 members of the House and the 100 members of the Senate, all but 2 of them are doing nothing but twiddling their hands. There's no committees, there's no hearings. It's Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House, and Mitch McConnell, Leader of the Senate, coming up with legislation. The legislative process is broken. It starts with the president, and with every president. What all presidents get wrong is that presidents in Congress assume that they have a mandate to pass new laws because they won the election. They are wrong. Just because voters elected you doesn't mean they agree with every single one of your policies and ideas, and it's probable that a majority of voters elected you, but that another different majority of voters also do not support one or more of your policy initiatives. And this is even more probable if you won the Electoral College but didn't win the popular vote. You don't have a mandate for every single idea you have. You have a mandate to try to convince the American public to implement the ideas you have. That's the mandate you have. And if you're the president, never sign a bill that doesn't receive bipartisan congressional support. I can give you example after example. The Affordable Care Act, the Republican attempt in 2017 to repeal the Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act, on and on and on, where Congress tries to pass something with just one party in Congress, and it's always a failure. And finally, reinstate the 60-vote threshold for the Senate. There's a good reason to have it. It helped get us centrist and bipartisan ideas, and getting rid of it was stupid. The other thing that presidents usually get wrong, and Congress gets wrong in the legislative process, is it's completely disorganized. What's Congress doing this week? What's it doing next week? What's it doing next month? What's it doing in 2 months? You have no idea. They have no idea. The American people can't follow it. It's a day-to-day soap opera, and putting some logic and organization into the legislative process makes a whole lot of sense to me. I won't spend tons of time going through this chart, but I'm going to introduce an 8-week schedule for every legislative initiative that the administration proposes. And it's going to be week 1, introduce the goals what problem you're trying to solve. Week 2, debate those. Get the other side. Hear the pros and cons. Week 3, what do the voters think? Week 4, introduce legislative options, bills, potential options. Not a bill, potential, lots of options. Week 5, debate those. Week 6, what does the voters think? Week 7, choose the best legislative option to solve the policy goals you're trying to solve. And week 8, introduce it to Congress based on the best options and the policy goals. And that gives you 8 weeks to hone the legislative process, find out what the voters think, make tweaks, and then introduce it to Congress. And then Congress can go through its committee process, its process, to decide if they're going to pass that bill or not. But right now, the chaos, the uncertainty, America has no idea. What if you were a professor and you had a great idea that you wanted to propose on wages? You don't know if the administration is going to take that up. You don't have any idea. If you knew that 6 months from now there's going to be 8 weeks of serious debate trying to come up with legislation on a certain thing, you could then introduce your concept. You could then be part of the process. Right now, you have no idea. What does that look like in a schedule? Basically, it's 2 months per policy initiative. So, you're patient. First 2 months, you stick to one topic, jobs. The next 2 months, you stick to another topic, wages. The third 2 months, manufacturing base, on and on. And so you get to do about 6 major things each year. In a 4-year term, that's 16 major policy initiatives. No president ever achieves it because nobody ever puts any kind of rigor into it. Would I get 16 legislative bills passed? No. Some of them die on the vine because the voters don't support it. You can't come up with a good thing. But right now the chaos is just, it's appalling. It's appalling. The current legislative process is chaotic. There's no attempt to bring voters into the process. Voters have no idea what Congress the president is planning 2 to 3 months from now. It's not bipartisan. It's not centrist. It pretty much pisses everybody off. And Americans deserve a better legislative process. Again, I went through that quickly. I put a lot of thought into it, but I went through it quickly. The point is to demonstrate that what you're getting from the Republicans right now is chaotic, it's garbage. What you're getting from the Democrats right now is chaotic, it's garbage. And America deserves better. I'm bipartisan, I'm centrist, I'm independent, and I'm not voting for Democrats or Republicans anymore. Next time I'll talk about the judicial process, but I did want to throw a couple charts in here about kind of where we're at. I talk about how the government should work. I talk a lot about the executive branch. The truth is I'm not going to talk about the judicial branch very much at all. I don't think they're doing everything right, but they're the least of our problems right now. The executive branch and the legislative branch are our problems right now, so I'll spend most of my time talking about that. I have these 2 charts to kind of just keep track of what things I'm talking about apply to what branch of government. It's probably pretty apparent, but I thought I'd throw those in there just for the fun of it. The next time, I'm going to talk about the judicial selection process. Same thing. It's a mess. It doesn't work. But we'll talk about that next time. Have a good day. Thanks.